Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again to do some college football picks and predictions. Week 12 of the college football season is upon us. We have some really good matchups. We have some really top-rated matchups, 10v10 matchups, a lot of top 25 versus top 25 games. It's going down. Teams are separating themselves, vying, battling for playoff spots. We're going to break down all the games, try to predict the outcome, the winner, loser, final score. We'll also take a look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. First things first, though. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below. Who do you think is going to win the best matchups this weekend? If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look at the pinned comment down there. Click on that link, sign up there. I would appreciate it. Let's jump right into it. And this first game is actually a really tough one. Kicking everything off Friday night, November 14th, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. You have the 4-5 Clemson Tigers on the road versus number 15, the 7-2 Louisville Cardinals, coming off that loss. Right now, Louisville at home, they're the fan favorites, 54.9% chance to win. Clemson 45.1. Cardinals are 3-point favorites. Very close spread on this game. The over/under is 50.5. One thing that you have to understand. Clemson is coming off of a solid performance versus Florida State. Not saying that was some great team that they beat, but overall, Klubnik is back. They're pushing the ball down the field. Maybe they got the offense on track. Defense played pretty good last week, but overall, this is not your typical Allen-led defense. They just haven't been creating a lot of havoc in the backfield. Clemson, 27.9 points a game, throwing for 280, running for 121, giving up 22.4 points a game, 245 through the air. Secondary's got to clamp down. Jeff Brown, one of the best offensive minds in the sport. They are out for revenge after that letdown last week. Miller Moss got to keep the turnovers down. They have Isaac Brown, the running back, closing in on 800. Bell closing in on 800. A really good wide receiver, one. Running back, one. Louisville, 32.9 points a game, throwing for 247. Running for 155. Pretty balanced offense, giving up 21.7 points a game. I'm going to go a little bit out on a ledge here right off the bat. Give me Clemson to get the win on the road here. Dabo takes a little pressure off of him. They win at 27-24. And we have another really good one on Friday night, surprisingly. 9 p.m. on Fox, you're going to have the 6-3 Minnesota Golden Gophers. Don't underestimate this team. PJ Fleck sometimes he has his team really prepared to play. They'll be on the road versus number 9, the Oregon Ducks. 8-1 Oregon coming off that very close win versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. They were tested. They survived it. That's all that matters. You will always have bad performances. They found a way to win. They avoid the upset. Ducks, 95.8% chance to win. Minnesota, 4.2. Oregon, 25-point favorites. That is a huge spread for an in-conference Big Ten game. 44.5 over-under. Minnesota, 23.8 points a game. They don't really have a good offense. Throwing for 203, running for 110, giving up 21.6 points a game. Lindsey, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. On the other side, Dante Moore led the team down the field for that field goal to end the game. 1,900 yards, 19 touchdowns, 5 picks. They're averaging 38.7. Throwing for 232, running for 240. This is one of the most balanced teams in the nation. Basically a 50-50 split down the middle. They're only giving up 13.8 points a game. A top 7 overall defense in the nation. Give me the Ducks continuing to roll here, setting up for a very competitive Big Ten stretch. They win this one 37-17. And moving on to our Saturday games on Fox at 12 p.m. Number 21, the Michigan Wolverines, 7-2 right now, coming off the bye week, fully rested. This is going to be a very run-focused team. Both teams want to establish the line of scrimmage, but Michigan, obviously, a massive talent gap here. This is a very talented team. Sharon Moore, he has the young quarterback. Bryce Underwood right now, 1,700 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. They need some playmakers to step up at the wide receiver positions. The skill positions have to help out Underwood. He's a true freshman. He needs some help. Some of those guys need to hold on to the ball, try to get open. Haynes, though, having a great season at the running back position. 900 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns. Michigan just loves to bludgeon people. They force you to play their slow, time-consuming style of football. They're on the road versus 5-4 Northwestern. Northwestern, actually a really good defense. They just can't score to save their life. They only have 20.8% chance to win. The Wolverines, 79.2. Michigan, 11.5-point favorites, 41.5 over-under, 28.1 points a game. Throwing for 186, running for 224 yards per game, only giving up 17.2. Top 15 national defense. Northwestern, 21.9 points a game. Throwing for 170, running for 181. Like I said, both teams want to establish the ball, but you know that Michigan has a really good physical front seven. Northwestern only giving up 19.1 points a game, which is really commendable considering the fact that their offense never gets first downs. I think Michigan's going to own the line of scrimmage. They bully Northwestern around. They win 28-16. Some more Big Ten football at 12 p.m. 3-6 Wisconsin. How about Luke Fickell's Badgers coming off the upset of Washington last week? Does that give them some type of momentum going forward? Let's be honest, probably not. He's on the hot seat. He's probably getting canned at some point. They'll be on the road versus number 2, the Indiana Hoosiers, 10-0, undefeated, back-to-back 10-win seasons. There are only 10-win seasons in the entire team's school history. Crazy stuff. Although fighting Signetti, he's got this team fired up. They avoided the upset last week. Mendoza had his Heisman moment. Indy had a 97% chance to win. Badgers 3%. Indiana 30.5-point favorites. Huge spread again for an in-conference game. 44.5 over/under. Wisconsin just can't score. They cannot score to save their life. This might be the worst offense in the entire nation. 12.6 points a game. Throwing for 144, running for 115, giving up 22.3 points a game. That is such a bad offense. Indiana, their offense is 4 times better. They're averaging 44.5 points a game. Throwing for 255, running for 132. That's some balance, only giving up 12.1 points per game. They have a top 5 offense. They have a top 10 national defense. Command and cruising here. Make sure to keep your guys healthy. Keep your eye on the Big Ten championship. Hoosiers win 38-13. Moving over to the SEC, 12 p.m. on ESPN, we have 3-6 South Carolina. The season has just not panned out right for Shane Beamer's team. They're going to be on the road here versus one of the best in the country. Number 3, the Texas A&M Aggies. Can they finally get to that 10-win mark? This team every single season comes in here with a lot of hype. The Jimbo years, the Sumlin years. Maybe Ike Elko gets them over there. Right now, the Aggies 9-0, 85.3% chance to win. The Gamecocks are just struggling to have any semblance of offense. Right now, the Aggies, this offense is rolling here. Marcel Reed slinging the ball up and down the field. He's throwing it 2,200 yards. He's running it. Owens is having a great season. Deep wide receiver core. They have Craver. They have Concepcion, one of the best 1-2 wide receiver combos in the nation. Sellers on the other side, just not having a good season. He's not accurate passing. He's not running the ball well. They're only averaging 19.7 a game. Throwing for 193, running for 101. The rush yard should be way higher than that. They're giving up 22.1 points a game. The Aggies 37.8 a game. Throwing for 255, running for 205. Physical team, line of scrimmage team, disciplined under Mike Elko, giving up 22.9. They don't necessarily have a good defense. I think that's their weakness if you had to pick a weakness. But still, overall, this is the highest ranked SEC team. That does mean a lot. Give me the Aggies winning this one, 31-17. In ABC at 12 p.m., number 10, the Notre Dame Fighting Irishman, who dropped their first 2 games. Since then, they've been steamrolling every single team they played. Competition hasn't been too hot, but they're curb stopping everyone they come across. The offense is rolling well. Defense has finally got back to 2024 defensive stats. They're shutting things down. Really good secondary, great front 7. They're on the road versus a very underrated team. Number 24, the 7-2 Pitt Panthers. You got to respect this team. They're ranked. This is the college game day matchup. It's going to be a lot of eyes here. Notre Dame, 77.3% chance to win. Pitt at home, 22.7%. The Irish, 10.5-point favorites, 55.5 over/under. Vegas sees a higher scoring team. How about C.J. Carr? First season as a true starter, 19 touchdowns, 4 picks. The best passing quarterback we've seen from the Irish in quite some time. They have Love. They have Pierce. The best running back 1-2 combo in the nation. Facing Great House. Veteran wide receiver core. On the other side, though, do not underestimate the Pitt Panthers. Their offense doing good. 39.7 points a game. Throwing for 303. Running for 124. Giving up 21.8 points a game. But where they're really strong is their front 7. Only giving up 80.9 rush yards per game. Pitt's going to look to shut down the run game. Easier said than done. Force C.J. Carr into 3rd and long situations. But it's hard to shut down Love and Pierce. And it's even harder to shut down that passing attack. Notre Dame can beat you multiple ways with a hot defense. Give me the Irish getting the win. Close game, 30-23. Moving on to the Big 12, 3:30 p.m. This is a good one. Fox, 4-5 UCF. Scott Frost is back. They haven't quite resurrected that run they had. Was that like back in 2015 or 16? Whenever they went undefeated, whenever they claimed to be national champions. But he does have to reflip the roster in his image. They're on the road here first. Number 8, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Right now they are 9-1. Coming off that win versus top 10 BYU. Right now they are in the driver's seat in the Big 12. Everything's in front of them. You just got to win out. Everything is setting up perfectly for you to make the playoffs. Make sure to not drop any of these games. Texas Tech, 91.4% chance to win. 23.5-point favorites, 47.5 over/under. Scott Frost's team, they actually play solid defense. They just got to get that offense right. Jackson, a lot of turnovers. They got to get the ground game going. 27.2 points a game. Throwing for 216, running for 186, giving up 20 points a game. Texas Tech, though, top 10 offense, top 5 defense in the nation, leading the nation in rush defense. Who would have ever thought the Red Raiders are a line of scrimmage football team? It is crazy stuff this season. 42.1 points a game. Throwing for 287, running for 193, only giving up 12.6 points per game. Crazy good defense, only 73.8 on the ground. They shut down the run. Scott Frost wants to run the ball. Texas Tech is going to make that very difficult. Rodriguez is having a great season. Morton, 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 picks. And he missed a couple games. Dickey, they can run. They play defense. They can chase you down in space. Texas Tech wins this one, 37-17. And how about one of our top matchups of the weekend? Some are saying that this should have been the game day game. Doesn't really matter. Everyone's going to make sure to watch this one. ABC, 3:30 p.m. Number 12, the Oklahoma Sooners, 7-2. Everything is still in front of them. The second most difficult schedule in the country next to the Florida Gators. If they win out, they're in the playoffs, but they have to win out. It starts here on the road, Tuscaloosa. Number 4, the Alabama Crimson, tied 8-1. Second place in the SEC. Bama, 71.6% chance to win. The Sooners on the road, 28.4. This is a revenge game. Don't forget what Brent Venables did to Kalen DeBoer's team last season. Pretty sure they actually shut Bama out last season. That was a god-awful game for the Crimson Tide. They want some revenge here. Right now, Bama 5.5-point favorites, 46.5 over-under. But Oklahoma, they don't have a good offense. John Mateer banged up. The arm, he's playing a little better, but overall got to get some things on track. They need help from the playmakers. Santanka having a good season. Outside of that, they're not a good rushing team. They don't have a great wide receiver core. Oklahoma, 28.9 points a game. Throwing for 237, running for 137, giving up 14.1 points a game. They get after it. If they can get pressure on Ty Simpson, maybe they can force some errant throws, keep this game low scoring where they have a chance, but easier said than done versus Ty Simpson. He's just not getting sacked much. 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, only one interception on the season. It's crazy. Very talented wide receiver core. Ryan Williams, Bernard. Bama 32.8 points a game. Throwing for 291, running for 112. I don't trust Bama's rushing attack. It's actually not good at all. Bama's got to concentrate on that, especially down the stretch, especially if they make the playoffs. They're going to have to run the board the third and fourth quarters, and they're only giving up 17.2 points a game. I have to go with Alabama here. They're not going to drop this one back-to-back seasons. Bama wins 28-17. Heading to the ACC, 3:30 p.m. ESPN2. Number 14, the Virginia Cavaliers, 8-2. Coming off that upset win this past weekend, no doubt they're going to be dropping in the poll once the new poll comes out. They lost Morris. Is he going to play this game? Is he not going to play this game? I don't know, but that's a massive loss. They still have Taylor, and they don't have a bad offense, but when Morris went out, they could not get first downs. But they've had so many close games. I was saying for weeks, if you continue to skate by with one possession wins, at some point a loss is going to find you. It found them last week. They're on the road versus 5-4 Duke. Duke should be able to win this game, especially if Morris doesn't play, but Duke is coming off of getting beat by UConn. Not basketball, UConn football. Manny Diaz, he's a defensive guy. They're not playing good defense, but they can score some points. Duke, 60.7% chance to win. Virginia, 39.3%. The Blue Devils, 6-point favorites, 58 over-under. Obviously, Mensah, he's slinging the ball everywhere for Duke. 2,800 yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 picks. They have Shepard. UVA, 33.7 points a game, giving up 21.6. Duke, 35.2 points per game, throwing for 313, running for 140, giving up 29.1 points a game. No matter who starts for Virginia, they should be able to move the ball versus Duke's defense, but will they be able to outscore Mensah and the Duke Blue Devils? I don't think so. Give me Duke winning this game, 30-23. The ACC Network, 3:30 p.m. Number 17, Georgia Tech, 8-1. Georgia Tech should be fully rested. You want King to be rested. King is like 70% of this team's offense, 1,900 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's also leading the team with 800 rushing yards, 14 rushing touchdowns. At some point, someone else got to step up. This guy's completely carrying this team on his back. Georgia Tech, 87.3% chance to win against Bill O'Brien's Boston College Eagles. 1-9 record, guys. That's not going to cut it. 12.7% chance to win. The Yellow Jackets, 16.5-point favorites, 58.5 over-under. Georgia Tech, 36 points a game, throwing for 261, running for 221. Brenke here loves the physical rushing attack. They play time of possession, 8 to 10 minute possessions, completely control the game clock. They're only giving up 23.1 points a game. Boston College, 23.7 points a game, throwing for 207. Running for 93, giving up 34.5 points a game. One of the worst defenses in the ACC conference. I think the Yellow Jackets, they get things back on track. They get some momentum going forward leading up to that Georgia game. They win this one 42-24. ESPN at 3:30 p.m. This game honestly scares the living crowd. I mean, 5-4 NC State. Do not underestimate the Wolfpack here. Don't forget they just beat Georgia Tech a couple weeks ago. They scored 50-something points that game. They're kind of hit or miss. They score 50, they score 10. Which version of the Wolfpack's going to show up here? Versus number 18, the Miami Hurricanes, 7-2. Miami, zero room for error. For them to have any shot to make the playoffs, they have to win out. They have to have some chaos happen in front of them. But college football is always full of chaos down the stretch. Hurricanes, 88.3% chance to win. I don't love that. Whenever the Hurricanes are double-digit favorites here, guys, it feels like you got to be getting set up for the upset. Miami, 14.5-point favorites, 55.5 over-under. Do not underestimate C.J. Bailey. He's having a great season. 2,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 picks. Smothers closing in on 900 on the ground. But Miami has a really good rush defense. The Hurricanes, Carson Beck, you got to play a clean game here, man. Don't have any careless turnovers. 2,200 yards passing. Fletcher, Pringle, and Lyle, talented group of wide receiver cores. What's going to be the health status? Do they get C.J. Daniels back? They have Tony. Other guys stepped up big this past weekend, filling in with the injuries. Talented team here, but they have to be aggressive. Mark Cristobal gets very conservative once they have the lead. You got to keep your foot on the gas. NC State, 32.4 points a game. Throwing for 278, running for 161, giving up 30.6 points a game. Just a god-awful defense. There should be opportunities for Carson Beck, as long as he's not careless, to push the ball vertically down the field. Hurricanes, 32.9 points a game. Throwing for 259, running for 152, giving up 15 points a game, only 88 on the ground. Miami has a really good defense. I don't see them giving up a lot of points here. No one scored over 26 points this entire season. Much improved over last season. Heatherman's having a great season calling plays. I think Miami's defense is going to keep NC State in check enough, and their defense is so bad the Hurricanes should get some points. They win at 38-20, keep their playoff hopes alive. On the Big Ten Network at 3:30 p.m., number 20, the Iowa Hawkeyes 6-3, almost pulling off the upset versus Oregon. That would have been an awesome upset had they done it. Kirk Ferentz's team, yes, their offense is from 1930, but every single season they're going to have a top 10 defense. They're going to play time of possession. They're going to have a very great special teams. They're going to play line of scrimmage, old-fashioned, hard-nosed football, and it keeps them in games because you can bring that defense with you on the road. They're going up against, in my personal opinion, the best offensive mind in college football, Lincoln Riley, number 19, the USC Trojans, 7-2. 75.7% chance to win. Iowa, 24.3. You always have to take these Iowa games serious because they're going to keep the score down, keeps it within reach. Trojans, 6.5 point favorites, 49.5 over-under. For Iowa, Gronowski. Yes, the guy's not having a good season throwing, but he's running all over the place. Moulton having a good season running. They're averaging 29.6, throwing for 133, but they do run for 176, only giving up 13.7 points a game. Like I said, they always have a really good defense. Trojans, 39.6 points a game. Throwing for 303, running for 200, giving up 21.8. The defense is still good under D'Anton Lynn, but really, what's their depth? That defensive line has been tested the last couple weeks. Mayab, a great season, 2,600 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6 picks. Deep running back room, but we all know who gets the eyes here. Lemon and Lane, one of the best wide receiver combos in all of college football. Both those guys potential first-round picks. They are lighting things up. You can count on them. Third downs, third and long, no matter what. Either of them could get the ball at any single moment. Give me the Trojans scoring just enough to inch by with the win, 24-20. 4:15 p.m. on the SEC Network. 3-C, New Mexico State on the road versus number 25, just hanging on in the top 25. 6-3, Tennessee Volunteers. A lot of people don't think they should be ranked, but either way, we know the committee does kind of favor SEC teams, so they're going to be in there. Josh Heupel, one of the best offensive minds out there. They might have the best all-around offense in college football. They have a 99% chance to win. 39.5 point favorites. I hate massive spreads. That's as big as it gets, almost 40. The over-under 61.5. We all know Joey Aguilar. This offense, this great wide receiver core, and they can score some points. New Mexico is just not very good. 21.3 points a game, giving up 25.2. Tennessee, 43.6 points a game, throwing for 329, running for 175, giving up 31.1 points a game. Their defense is god-awful. They give up points to everyone they play. Every game's a shootout. But New Mexico does not have the firepower. Tennessee cruises through this game. They can't wait to play Vanderbilt. They want to bring them down there. Tennessee wins this one 52-14. Staying in the SEC, 7 p.m. on ESPN, the 3-6 Florida Gators, they pulled off the upset last year. Can they do it again back-to-back season? Billy Napier has been fired. DJ Lagway has been benched. This team is in complete upheaval. They have been showing some fight, trying to put up a fight, trying to score points. The offense just isn't good, but they still have a defense that they can rely on. They're on the road versus 81.2% chance to win. The Ole Miss Rebels, number 6, 9-1. There's only 2 games left. All Lane Kiffin's team has to do just win one of 2 and you are in the playoffs. But we all kind of feel that they're going to end up winning both those games, finishing the regular season 11-1. Ole Miss 16.5 point favorites, 53.5 over-under. You always know Lane Kiffin's team, they can score points in bunches. Chambliss having a great season. Didn't even start off his season as the starter. Since he has been the starter, he's been lighting up. He's a potential Heisman contender right now. Lacey closing in on 1,000 yards. Florida 20.4 points a game, giving up 22.4. Ole Miss 37.5 points a game. Throwing for 306, running for 184, giving up 19.8 points a game. The defense has actually come around the last couple weeks, looking like that defense from last year. I think Ole Miss continues the roll here, 34-17. And in the Big 12, this is a really tough game to call. 7 p.m. ESPN2. Kyle Whittingham, the second longest tenured coach in the country. Number 13, the Utah Utes, sitting at 7-2, still alive to potentially make the Big 12 championship on the road versus 5-4 Baylor Bears. Dave Aranda definitely feeling the heat. Baylor at home, the underdogs. Utah 8.5 point favorites, 60.5 over under. Utah 78.7% chance to win. The Utes 39.6 points a game. throwing for 210, running for 267. This team's physical, one of the best offensive lines in the country. Since Devin Dampier came over, he's slinging the ball around. He's a dual-threat mobile quarterback, has completely changed this Utah's offense from what it's been like the last 5 or 6 years, and they're only giving up 14.2 points a game. They have the defense and they have the offense, one of the most balanced teams in the country. They can beat you through the air. They can also beat you on the ground. Baylor, 33.8 points a game, throwing for 313, running for 141, but the defense is pretty bad, giving up 29.3 points a game. Robertson, though, great season, 2,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 7 picks. He just needs the defense. For the love of God, give this guy a stop on the field so he can maintain the lead. It's going to be close, but I don't see it happening. Utah wins this one 38-27. And guys, just as a side note, we will be doing a live stream on Friday or Saturday. If you have any questions you want me to answer, drop any question down in the comment section. Just make sure to say that is for the live stream, whether it's, professional, sports, personal, just drop it down there and I'll make sure to touch on it. The very next game, 7 p.m. Fox Sports 1, 2 and 8 Purdue versus number 23, the Washington Huskies 6-3. Coming off a loss game, they should have won. Purdue, the underdog, Washington 16.5 points a game. 53.5 over under. Purdue only 20.9 points a game, giving up 27.7. Williams could not get any separation last week. Couldn't throw it, couldn't run it. Overall, though, the Fish team, talented team. They just didn't bring it last week. 32.7 points a game, throwing for 257, running for 161, giving up 20 points a game. They got a rebound with a strong win. They win this one 33-16. NBC, 7:30 p.m., 3-6 UCLA Bruins. They were a great story for a while there, but let's call it like it is. They're on the road versus the number 1 team in the country, the defending national champions, number 1, the 9-0 Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State, 98.3% chance to win, 31.5-point favorites. Pretty big spread there. The over-under is 48.5. Nico, a lot of experience for Imaliava, but he played the Buckeyes last season, and that was a god-awful performance from him. Right now, the Buckeyes, they're loaded every single position. Sayan could be the Heisman frontrunner. 2,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 4 picks. Jackson's running the ball hot. They have Jeremiah Smith, Tate, Ennis, the deepest wide receiver room. UCLA, 20.4 points a game, giving up 30.7. The Buckeyes, 36.3 points a game, covering a lot of spreads this season. Throwing for 286, running for 155. The number 1 defense last year, the number 1 defense this season, only giving up 7.2 points a game. It is very hard to score on this team. The Buckeyes roll 45-13. And how about one of our best games being saved for last, 7:30 p.m. on ABC? You better be watching this game. Number 11, the Texas Longhorns, 7-2, fighting to keep their spot in the playoffs, but they got to win out to have any shot here. They're on the road versus number 5, the Georgia Bulldogs, 8-1. Kirby Smart can't beat the Alabama Crimson Tide, but Steve Sarkisian also has a very difficult time beating Georgia. So round and round we go. Texas, 40.2% chance to win. All the talent in the world, though. Top 5 overall roster. So does Georgia with a 59.8% chance to win. The Bulldogs, 5.5-point favorites, 48.5 over-under. Arch Manning. We've seen him at his best times. We've seen him at his worst this season. Which version of Arch Manning shows up? Right now, 18 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He will extend plays with his legs and get out of pressure. This Georgia defensive front, especially the DNs, you're going to have to keep him bottled up. Keep him in that pocket. Shut down the rushing game. Wisner, Baxter. When Texas can't run the ball, Arch Manning has a very difficult time beating you vertically with his arm. And on the other side, Stockton. Stockton's been clutch this season. Does not make them miss Carson Beck in any way whatsoever. Frazier coming off his best game last week. I don't like Bobo's run schemes, but Frazier did good last week. Give Branch the ball. Give him the ball consistently. Texas, 29.6 points a game. Throwing for 246, running for 135, giving up 16.4 points a game. Really good defense. Only 78 on the ground given up. Georgia, 33.4 points a game, throwing for 239, running for 197, giving up 19.8 points a game. Not your typical smart defense, but I think it's enough to win this one at home. Georgia wins 27-23. And we made it to our final game of Week 12, 8:15 p.m. on ESPN. 6-3 TCU Horned Frogs coming off a loss last week. Sonny Dykes, though, great offensive play caller. Hoover in the biggest moments to me. The last 2 seasons, way too many turnovers when you need him to make a play, but still really good numbers. 2,700 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 picks. How about McAllister? He catches passes. He picks up massive yards after the catch. They'll be on the road versus number 7 BYU, 8-1, coming off that loss to Texas Tech. But BYU, if they win out, they have a shot for a rematch with the Red Raiders. The Cougars, 73.8% chance to win. Horned Frogs, 26.2. BYU, 5.5-point favorites, 52.5 over-under. This is one of those games, in my personal opinion, You got to keep your eye on it. There's the potential upset here because when TCU's offense is rolling, they can score with anyone in the country. They can score points in bunches. TCU 32.7 points a game, throwing for 303, running for 123, giving up 24.6. On the other side, the Cougars, physical team. They lost Retzlaff. Bachmeier comes in, freshman quarterback, huge guy, physical runner, 1,900 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 picks. Martin closing in on 900 on the ground. They're averaging 33. Throwing for 214, running for 200, very balanced team, only giving up 18.3 points a game. Line of scrimmage football team. It's going to be a close game, but I think BYU walks away with a very close, hard-fought win, 30-24. So, guys, that's it. That's all of our ranked top 25 matchups. This is the polls because the new poll hasn't come out yet. Once that comes out, we will update this video, get it back out to you. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below. Who do you think is going to win these games? What's your favorite pick? Make sure to leave me a question in the comment section for the live stream. And if you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment below. Thanks for watching.